Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. In today's video, we're going to be profiling Canterra Minerals Corporation. This is a Canadian resource company with a lot going on under the hood. We're going to look at that in today's video, but before we do, please take a second, hit the like button, guys. It's 100% free to do. It's a big help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join and let us know in the comment section below if you're currently holding shares of Canterra, your outlook for 2024, and how you think this stacks up to other players in the sector. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be focusing on Canterra Minerals Corporation. Now, the resource sector overall has been receiving a lot of attention recently, so I thought this was a very timely video. This one trades on the TSX Venture here in Canada under the ticker symbol CTM and on the OTC in the United States under the ticker CTM.V. So this one's super exciting for a number of reasons. First and foremost, is some of the key and notable shareholders in the company, including Eric Sprott, who has a 9% stake in Canterra Minerals, and Michael Gentile with an 8% stake. So definitely some of the biggest, most notable players in the Canadian North American resource sector taking note of this organization. Not to mention, they just finished their maiden drill program at their Lemarchant property, which we're going to look at later in the presentation. And as a result of this drill, saw high grades of gold, silver, copper, and zinc, which may start to act as a major catalyst for this stock to break out of this 6-month range trading that we're going to look at in a second. Now, as you can see, this is as of close on Friday, April 12th. Shares were unchanged on the session, ending the day at 9 cents Canadian per share. And if we pull up a 6-month chart, you can see relatively sideways trading over the last few months, with a low back at the start of November 2023 of 4 cents and a spike or a local high on January 9th of 12 cents Canadian. Now, this is a relatively small company with a market cap in the neighborhood of about $15 million Canadian, but they've got a diversified portfolio of properties and assets with various different indications and targets, making this a well-diversified play in the Canadian resource space. Now, if we jump over to the corporate website, I'll leave this linked in the video description below as well. Since this is the first time covering Canterra Minerals Corporation on the channel, I wanted to do a quick high-level summary of what this company is all about. And as you can see on the homepage, this is a critical minerals and gold exploration company, primarily focused in the province of Newfoundland. However, they do have assets in other provinces and territories as well. Canterra Minerals Corporation is a Canadian resource company focused on critical minerals and gold exploration on the island of Newfoundland. Canterra's board and management team have over 40 years of experience, which we're going to look at in a second here, searching for critical minerals, gold, and diamonds here in Canada. Now, with that being said, that's a perfect segue to the properties section of the website. You can see Newfoundland and Alberta listed. We're going to focus primarily on Newfoundland in today's presentation, and you can see a variety of different properties, including Lemarchant, Bouchans, Boomerang, Long Lake, and the Wilding Gold Project, which we're going to look at in a little bit more detail as we move into the investor presentation. Now, what you'll notice about these properties is they're located in central Newfoundland, about 30 kilometers south of Millertown. And there's a variety of different minerals that have been identified at these locations, including copper, lead, zinc, silver, and of course gold. Now, we're going to talk about the Lemarchant property and the Bouchans property as we move into the investor presentation, but I wanted to quickly pull up some of the highlights of this location, including the results of 165 drill holes, which total over 50,000 meters of drilling at this location, including multiple significant precious metal drill intercepts, and a number of new targets that have already been selected for drilling in the future. And again, you can see whether you're talking about the copper, zinc, lead, silver, or gold results. Definitely attention grabbing and a great example of some of the quality properties that Canterra Minerals has within their portfolio. Now, I mentioned in the intro that the management team has over 40 years combined experience. You can see the CEO, Chris Penimpede, along with Paul Moore, who's the VP of Exploration, and Harry Chan, who's the CFO. have a combined 64 years of experience in the exploration space, and they've really surrounded themselves by a well-established, well-connected, and experienced team in terms of the board of directors, which you can see below here. And as we've talked about in relation to exploration, mining, and resource companies, it's extremely important to have these existing relationships and knowledge, not only of the resource or mineral that you're looking for, but also the jurisdiction that you operate in. Now this map here does a good job of showing the various different resources and the location among the various different properties within their portfolio. So you can see the Lemerchant deposit, the Long Lake, Boomerang, Lundberg, along with Daniels Pond, Tulks Hill, Bobby's Pond, and Duck Pond Mine, which together represent a district scale land package of over 684 square kilometers. And as you'll see, a variety of existing infrastructure, including highways, railroads, and existing camps. And again, between these 7 resource stage projects, they've already identified zinc, copper, lead, silver, and gold, with a variety of volumes listed underneath each one of these properties. Now this slide does a really good job of showing the combined total between all of these different properties. Again, you can see Tulks Hills, Daniels Pond, Lemerchant, Boomerang, Lundberg, all of the different properties we just saw on that map. But now with the indicated grades of each mineral listed in the table below, along with the resource volumes listed above. So based on the measured and indicated contained tonnage, again, this is measured in millions of tons with the zinc equivalent grade percentage listed above. You can see how Canterra Minerals stacks up to some of the other explorers and developers in this sector. And again, based on the variety of properties within the Canterra portfolio, you can see the equivalent zinc percentage, along with the overall tonnage and gross value in terms of dollars per ton. So worth noting that 23.4 million tons with a 6.7% zinc equivalent grade is definitely on the higher end when you compare Canterra to some of the other players in this sector. Not to mention the market caps when you start to look at some of the bigger players like Trilogy Metals and Foreign Metals are exponentially higher compared to Canterra and the contained tonnage found at their properties. Now from there, they go on to give additional information about each one of these properties, so Lemerchant, for example, and a breakdown of the category, whether it's indicated or inferred, and the minerals and metals that are found at each location. Now the other thing available in this investor presentation is a detailed readout of the 165 drill holes and the results found at the Lemerchant property, along with additional mapping of the Lundberg resource, a geological model of the Buchan's project, and exploration targets planned at this location. Now the other thing I really like about Canterra is their properties are what's considered undeveloped or underexplored. This is a theme we've heard from a lot of CEOs in the resource sector, as well as you want to be in areas that are historically known and have proximity or geologic formations similar to where other resources have been found, but perhaps not the most explored areas, giving the company and investors opportunity to find new discoveries. And that's exactly what you'll find with the presence of historical deposits, but generally undeveloped or underdeveloped exploration. Now, in terms of the future roadmap for Canterra, you can see they just closed the acquisition of the Buchan's property in the 4th quarter of last year. Q1 of this year focused on the gravity survey at Lemerchant, which we just looked at, and the modeling and drilling targeting at Buchan's, again, which we just looked at in that investor presentation. You're also looking at 2,500 meters of drilling for high-grade zinc and copper at Lemerchant, along with a drill target generation at Buchan's. And as we look out into the 3rd quarter of this year, that's when they're really going to be evaluating the drilling results from Lemerchant and the drilling at Buchan's. And you'll actually see an article that came out back on February 29th talking about the commencement of that drilling program on the Lemerchant Critical Minerals Project, again in Newfoundland, which represents the maiden drill program on this resource stage project since their acquisition back in 2021. So this is going to include 2,000 meters of drilling over 7 different drill holes. And you can then see comments from the CEO himself, Chris, talking about the fact that for the last 3 years, Canterra has been systematically consolidating its land position within central Newfoundland, culminating in the acquisition of the Buchan's resource at the end of 2023, which we just looked at, making Canterra now Newfoundland's largest critical minerals explorer with an expansive land position, and aside from the Valentine mine, now control all the known deposits in central Newfoundland, which is a really favorable spot to be in considering a big new mine is going into this region, and Canterra's deposits are therefore going to become even more important and potentially a source to feed that mine in the future. So a great example of one of the key catalysts that just took place for Canterra and the momentum they're looking to build on in 2024. Now, the other thing I quickly wanted to share with you guys is just the capital structure. So you can see just north of 303 million shares on a fully diluted outstanding basis, with Eric Sprott owning 9% of the company, insiders making up 5 additional percent, with the vast majority of shares being held by retail, high net worth individuals and institutional owners, making up about 60% of the total ownership. So for those reasons, you guys, this one definitely may be worth a look if you're looking for exposure to the Canadian resource sector. They've got a variety of different properties with various different minerals and resources already identified through different drill programs. They're expanding on those drill programs throughout 2024, and we're starting to see general strength in the price of a lot of these underlying minerals and resources coming back to the market. Not to mention a renewed optimism for the resource space, including exploration mining and the related companies here in Canada. Now, I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts on Canterra in the comment section below, specifically if you're already holding shares of this company. What are your thoughts on the properties that they've identified and how they compare in terms of market cap and deposits versus their peers in this space? If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to join. We'd love to have you as part of the community. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.